Hey, good people. So today we're going to talk about teaching in the USA. So I did another video, even though I did it in Swahili, and I was just doing a comparison between, how teachers get paid in Kenya versus how they get paid in the US. And then I kind of did a breakdown of, the cost of living and all that stuff. And so today we're going to be talking about how you can come to teach in the USA and through the J1 visa. So the J1 visa, if you haven't watched my video, I did a comprehensive video on the 14 programs that that kind of encompass what the J1 visa is. There's a lot of options. There is 14 programs. The J1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, so you come in here for a specified number of years, and then you go back to your home country. And so today we're just going to be focusing on the teaching. So for the teachers, we'll be focusing on the teachers option to come with a J1 visa. So for a J1 visa, you pretty much need a designated sponsor. That's what people call agency that will help you in the whole process. And there's a lot of designated sponsors. There's a lot of agencies out there that some of them are genuine and some of them are not. And so this is where you kind of really have to do your research to make sure that you don't get scammed, because a lot of people get scammed in this. So what happens is that I'm going to give you information. The information that I'm going to give you is information directly from travel.state.gov. Okay. So what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you all the listed designated sponsor by travel.state.gov. That way, and I'm going to put that link in the description of the video, and then so that you can be able to see. There is a lot of them, and we'll go through some of them, because there's a lot of designated sponsors when it comes to the exchange program for teachers. So what I'm gonna do, and I like to use travel.state.gov. I like to use the authorized websites, government websites, to give you that information versus just using any other websites by other people. Okay, so when you come in here to the US as a J1, with a J1 visa to teach, for an exchange program to teach, it's it's pretty much you're a foreign teacher who gets the opportunity to come to the US and teach, teach in an accredited primary and secondary school here in the US. So what are some of the requirements? And I'm going to read you some of the requirements from Bridge USA, which works with travel.state.gov. So these are the requirements for you as a teacher. So a teacher you must meet the qualification to be able for teaching in primary or secondary schools in the country where you're coming from, in the country of your last either nationality or last legal residence. Okay, so you have to meet the qualifications to teach in your home country, and then you have to be working as a teacher in your home country. So you have to be working in your home country as a teacher. Otherwise, if you're not working there as a teacher, you have to meet eligibility qualifications. So, and there's some eligibility qualifications if you haven't been working as a teacher in your home country. That is within the 12 months of application, you've completed an advanced degree, or B, you have 2 years of full-time teaching experience within the past 8 years. So if you haven't been teaching, but you just within 12 months of the application, you just finished an advanced degree, or B, you have 2 years of full-time experience in the past 8 years, you will still qualify. Okay, you have to have a degree equivalent to a US bachelor's degree in either education or the academic subject in which you intend to teach. So you can either have education, or if you want to teach math, you can have a degree in math, or that sort of thing. So you have to have a minimum of 2 years. That's 24 months. A minimum of 2 years of teaching or related professional experience. Okay, and you have to satisfy the U.S. state, the standards of the U.S. state in which you want to teach. Okay, so every state has its own standards that you have to meet those standards for you to be able to teach. You have to be of good reputation, so a good reputation and good character, and you have to be coming into the US with the purpose of teaching full time. So you're teaching full time either at a primary, which is including pre-K, pre-kindergarten, or secondary school, and an accredited secondary school in the US. So you have to. The intention is you're seeking to come to the US to teach full time. All right, and then the last requirement is you have to possess sufficient proficiency in English language. And sometimes that can be indicated in things like a TOEFL test or something like that. So this is what you must have for you to come with a J1 visa. What happens is what are the benefits that you get? The benefits that you get is you get the experience to come to the US. You get the opportunity to earn, sharpen your professional skills, and participate in cross-cultural activities and schools and communities, and you get to go home with that exchange of tradition and all that stuff. So you can work up to 3 years. So you can when you come here as a J1 visa as a teacher, you can get up to 3 years of teaching. So what happens is you are eligible. After the 3 years, you have to go back to your home country, but you're eligible for a repeat participation. So for you to be eligible to repeat, you work your time here. If it's 3 years, do your 3 years, then you have to go back to your home country for 2 years and make sure you continue to meet the eligibility criteria, and then you can come back for a repeat. All right, that's basically the requirement for you to come as a J1 visa for a teacher. All right. Then the other thing I was going to tell you is I was going to walk you through is for you to kind of go through the whole process, you need a designated sponsor. And I'm gonna give you the link. So I'm gonna give you the link of the requirements for the teacher so that you can read that for yourself. But I'm also going to give you the list of the designated sponsor, which is a lot. There is a lot of them, and they are from pretty much every state. So it's choosing, whether it's Arizona, California, or the 52 states that are in the US are represented in there. There's Colorado, there's DC, there's Florida, there's Georgia, there's a lot of them. There's Illinois, there's Iowa, Kansas, there is Maryland, there's Massachusetts, Louisiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Minnesota, New York. It touches every state in the US, all the way to Washington, Virginia, Utah, Texas. And so yeah, all these, what I read for you is the designated sponsors. These are the agencies you would use. All right, these are the agencies you would use, and they would pretty much do everything, help you through the process for you. So, and we can click one of them and kind of go through. So this one is in Washington, and it's called Intrax Inc. Intrax Inc. It says teach in accredited public and private primary and secondary schools in the US. And it says teach in the US for up to 3+ years at K-12 schools. Learn about the cultures, just kind of going through. It's the same qualifications, and so here is where you have to do your homework. Okay, so there's tons and tons of designated sponsors, tons and tons of agencies that are in that list. Some of them, they differ in the state they're in, but they also differ in the way they pay. They differ in the fees that you have to pay. So make sure you go through that list, see because they list, like Intrax is talking about, okay, teacher program sponsorship fee. It gives you the amount there. If you want expedited processing, they have a fee there. There's a renewal fee. There's a program extension fee. There's J2 dependent fee. So if you have family and you want to bring them there, want to bring them to the US, you can bring them with a J2 visa. Okay, so they have fees there. If you want transfer to a new school, there's fee there. Travel authorization, all that is, and they help you with everything visa related, and they give you information on calculating how do you calculate your cost of living, you live in this area. What is going to be your rent? What is going to be your utilities? What is going to be your food and all that, your tax and all. So they give you information on that. Give you information on every city, every state, and the pretty much the cost of living that is in every city. Okay, so a word of caution when it comes to you thinking about what designated sponsor you're gonna use, what agency you're gonna use, is make sure you do enough research in terms of the state you're going to and the cost of living there. Very important, because sometimes, look at California. California has really high, it has really high cost of living, but you could also be paid more. It pays more to live in California, but there's also a high cost of living, and and also they states that they have low cost of living, but they also pay less. So make sure you do your math, because it's very, very important, so that if I go do this, and these are the bills that I pay. How much I'm actually going to be left with, so do your math, but also look for ways to save. Always, do your research. There's a lot of information there's a lot of information out there to help you make better choices, make better choices for your expenses. You can always choose to get a roommate, live in a cheaper place, take public, just, it depends. Even when you think about buying a car, also think about, do I want to buy a really expensive car that I cannot be able to afford, or should I buy a car that I can be able to afford and pay in cash? So all these things, think about your phone plans. Think about, do I need to get a really expensive plan, or can I just get a prepaid plan that works the same, and you get to pay less? So you doing your budget, you kind of doing your research in terms of how much you have to pay, how much you're making, doing a budget. This is the money that's going to be coming in, this is the money that's going to be going out. This will help you. If you're coming in here just to stay, coming in here and your intention is, I'm going to come teach for 3+ years and then go back to my home country, then it's good for you to have a budget, because then you have savings, and then you can actually take home some savings, but also take home the experience, or that comes with a J1 visa. Hopefully that is helpful to somebody, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. And thank you so much for always watching my videos. Thank you for liking, commenting, and and showing the love. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Thank you, guys. Bye.